In today's news, DPP Tiffany R. Scatliff speaks on her office and its role. Brazilians Our Legacy Unchained dubbed an entire success. 6 individuals appointed to serve on the newly established Trade Commission Board, and Republic Bank BVI Limited go live weekend services effective April 4th. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everybody, it's Tuesday, March 29th, 2022, a terrific Tuesday to each and every one of you. I'm Ron Grant, coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. I want to thank you each and every one of you for tuning in at this time. Beginning on local news, Republic Bank BVI Limited is advising its customers and its conversion from the banking system of Bank of Nova Scotia to Republic Financial Holdings Limited suite of technology. The platforms are set to take place on April 4th, 2022. Of course, this is to facilitate the conversion. The bank's operation will experience some temporary changes, including the migration of credit card issuing services, which will include a brief interruption in service from today, March 28th, throughout the 29th. Now, the bank's operation will be closed on April 1st, 2022, and will be open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on April 4th. The bank would also like to take this time to inform its customers and ask them to note that from April 1st through the 3rd, debit card and ATM services will not be available. Customers are advised, therefore, to withdraw any cash they may need prior to April 1st for the downtime period. During this time, customers can also utilize their credit cards and checks. Now, all services will be restored on April 4th. Managing Director, Marian Blyden of Republic Bank said, and I quote, "We are doing our best to make the transition as smooth and seamless as possible, something that can only be truly achieved with our customers' corporation. We appreciate the support they have given us thus far, and we look forward to that support as we navigate the new system when we go live on April 4th. As part of the Farmers and Fishers Week 2022, the Government of the Virgin Islands held a dedication ceremony for Agriculture and Fisheries Station in Virgin Gorda. Speaking at the ceremony was the Director of Agriculture and Fisheries, Mr. Theodore James, who expressed the importance of having an Agriculture and Fisheries Station in Virgin Gorda and reiterated his agreement with the decision to merge agriculture and fisheries under one department in 2019.
One of the things that is going through my mind is when I got, and maybe that's why I got mixed up, is Leslie, Miss Maduro. She, from the time I took the seat of Director of Agriculture and Fisheries, she's been on top of me to get this place back up and running. And just so, I have been on top of the ministry to get this place back up and running. I can't go without saying that Leslie pushed me. She harassed me. She said, Mr. James, I am up behind the schools. I am trying my best, but it is sometimes discouraging when you don't have a place to work from. You know, and today, I am happy that we are here. We are finally here, where we can provide services not only to the Virgin Gorda community, but also to the Anegada community, where we can also push services not only to farmers, but to fishers. It was in 2019 where the agriculture and the fisheries unit came together. right? And I am very happy for that. I am happy that we are able now to come together under one umbrella, where we can see production of the earth and where we can harvest from the bountiful sea that God has given us.
Dr. The Honorable Natalia Wheatley, who is holding the responsibility for agriculture and fisheries, also spoke at the event and noted in his remarks the importance of youth involvement in the sector and its perception as a viable career and source of income.
Because agriculture, farming and fishing will never be successful if the young people do not grab hold of them. If the young people do not see these activities as viable careers where they can be able to take care of their family. So I'm talking to you specifically, students today. Computer can grow yam. Isn't that Shabazz? Yes. And food doesn't grow in a can. Okay, the tuna fish that you get from the can that had to be caught from the sea. And we have the capability of doing it. Some persons say farming and fishing cannot be a viable career. Well, how? We have to eat, no matter what you do. You know, we could tie up a little cloth around our bodies and walk around, but you have to eat. You must eat. And it's the first profession that we ever had. Way back in the Garden of Eden, Pastor Ricketts. We were farmers. And of course, I'm pretty sure we were fishers as well. Way back in time. And I know I can't go too long without food. And even standing here right now, I'm looking back every now and again. Because I'm in humble anticipation of the end of this event. When they will say refreshments will be served. You can't go without food for too long. So it is a viable career. And guess what people are speaking about all the time? This war in Ukraine. The fact that they produce so much wheat in Ukraine, and Ukraine is one of the breadbaskets of Europe. And you're speaking about the cost of living and the price of shipping and everything going up. And guess what? When you're talking about the cost of living going up, most times you're talking about the supermarkets. What does that tell you? Somebody's making a lot of money from food, from selling food. But guess what? We're not the ones making that money. And we have to reverse the trend. And we have to be, as opposed to importing 90% of our food.
Now, viewers, the ceremony was immediately followed by a market and exhibition day at the station featuring, of course, locally produced food. Now, up next, Resilient, our Legacy Unchained, dubbed a huge success. We are pleased to feature the extraordinary talent of young Virgin Islanders paying tribute to our history right after this commercial break.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch again? You don't say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey, I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. Viewers, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. The local original play, Resilience, Our Legacy Unchained, was well received by the BVI public over the weekend, which saw scores of residents flocking to the Eileen L. Parsons Auditorium at the H. Laverstock Community College to view the masterpiece. Kamal Haynes has the story.
All thanks to the director and producer Via Donovan Hodge, writer and producer Caris Marie Hoyt, and co-producer Rikia Brathwaite, the BVI public had the opportunity to be reminded of the talent that exists right here in the territory. Well, the trio were responsible for the conceptualization of the play, which they collectively made a reality, which saw the likes of local talent such as Shimar Trim, who played the role and character of George, Tashima Barzi, who played Gertrude, Nicole Stout, who acted as Damon, Hashim Lewis as Roman, and Caris and Rikia, who also acted brilliantly in their roles as Tony and Resilience, respectively. Well, from the playbill, the order of the program, the stage design, the acting skills displayed, and the plot twist within the play, the overall consensus of the production was an A+ rating, which saw the end of both days being met by a standing ovation by all parties who were privileged to view the play. Well, I had the opportunity to speak to a number of persons after the play to get their takeaway from the masterpiece. Well, first up was Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, as well as Education, Mrs. Carolyn Stout-Igwe. Well, here's what she and others had to say.
Well, first of all, I would like to say that I thought it was awesome. It was really a great production. I really want to commend the cast. And what I'm left feeling, actually after the tears, it was really a moving piece. It was really a moving evening, and I didn't expect it to end the way it ended. So I'm grateful to them for the suspense that they created, and it was really quality acting. So I'm really pleased.
And obviously, with that talent that you would have seen today, what does that mean for the future of theatre arts here in the BVI?
Well, it's very exciting. I know that the Director of Culture really pushes the different types of arts in the territory, so I think she would be pleased with a production of this magnitude. And I really want to say that the territory is in good hands. Caris and Via, they're young, they have some very good actors. The future of theatre looks bright in the Virgin Islands.
Well, I'm here with Mr. Hassey. You would have just viewed the play. I want your honest opinion. Give us, tell the viewers what you took away from the play firstly.
Well, firstly, I'd like to say it was a very good play for me. You know, emotional, thinking about it, thinking about back in slavery days. If this exactly was going on, that was very painful for me, seeing as a black man, knowing what we went through to get to this day. But to be honest, it was a very well written play. I mean, to be honest, for this little British Virgin Islands, we got so much talent. Watching those guys on that stage executing that, I felt like, hey, like I wasn't in Tortola. It's like, this is something that you should pay hundreds of dollars for. This was a top of the line quality show from beginning to end. Acting, emotions, everything was just on point.
And you just touched on the talent that you would have seen here tonight. Tell me what you think should happen going forward, especially when it comes to having more stuff like this in the territory.
To be honest, going forward, it needs to be more investment. Sometimes we tend to think that the government needs to do everything, but sometimes it's a community effort. You know, the government can't do everything. Things like this, these are our young people, these are our kids, these are our cousins, these are our nieces and nephews. Persons who have businesses, we just need to invest in things like these. These things here could be done on a bigger scale. This is something I think the whole of BVI would like to see. Just thinking about it, reading about it, they will think, oh, it's boring. But after coming to experience this, you realize, wow, this is awesome. This is an awesome show.
Okay, I'm here with Mr. Brent Hoyt. He would have played a critical role behind the scenes, especially when it comes to the musical work and stuff. Speak to me in terms of from the inception, how it was back then, and then fast forward to, the final production where everyone, it would have had a standing ovation, basically. So speak to me firstly about that inception, how it was going from the background before a vision was basically, set in stone.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be very honest. I mean, I'm working with an awesome team like Jason Smith. I mean, Joel Fripp. These guys are amazing. So I mean, the workflow was so easy. Behind the scenes and what's not. I mean, leading up to it, no complications whatsoever. It was really smooth, down to the point. We had a really good cast. Carries did really awesome. Via did awesome in production. So it was really, really a nice build up, man. It was no trouble at all. It was really nice and effective. I mean, we did well. We did really very well.
And I know your sister, Miss Hoyt, via Donovan Hodge and Miss Brathwaite, they would have came up with the plan initially. When they came to you with the plan, did you foresee it being like what you would have seen tonight?
Honestly, no, man. It's always different to actually see something, to talk about something and actually see it. In the end, it's always mind-blowing, man. I mean, those girls, Caris, Rikia, Via, all of them are related to me, by the way. They're my cousins and they're my sister, So I'm very proud of them. They did really well. They just need all the praise right now, man. They did really, 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 really well, man. I understand, they did really well.
I also had the opportunity to speak to some of the stars on the night, starting with actor Shimar Trim.
When I first auditioned, I didn't actually audition for the part I have now. I auditioned for the part of Damon, and then due to certain circumstances, I had to take up that role. And it's nothing like what I thought it would have been. It's a completely different experience, and it's a great one. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, the ride was really, really, really good.
I'm here with Miss Rikia Brathwaite. She's also a producer as well as an actor. You would have played Resilience role today. Just speak to me about, how it was firstly. I don't want to speak about the acting as yet. Let me first start by when I first interviewed Caris and Via. They said that you was part of the three party team basically that would have came up with the whole idea and stuff. Speak to us firstly about that.
So basically what happened was that COVID happened. And that was a huge thing for all artists. And that brought me home because I was in New York at that point. And that brought Via and I home. And we had to settle here and there was no art. So I remember one time I was like, Dad, there's nothing to audition for. There's nothing I can do to practice my craft. What can I do? And he was like, this is the perfect time to think of something to create it. If you're the only one that's doing it, then you would have everyone that's artists on your with you on your back. So I was just like, okay, we have Via, we have Caris, we have such talent here. Let's just get it all together. And then I was like, what can we do? I'm specialized in theater, so that's my art form. So I was like, what can we do? We need to create an authentic Virgin Island story, that's something that our audience can relate to, kind of spark the theater arts here because we don't really have it here. So once we can bring them in with relatedness, then maybe we can create history in terms of people coming here and instead of going to the bars and going to a jam, they can come and see a show as a part of entertainment. So I remember one time I went to one of my friends that knows a lot about history, and I was like, tell me something more about history. And then I got that story about George stealing the letter at the Nottinghams, and then I just started there. Then I called Caris. I was like, I don't know how to write. I have this concept, I think that I want to create this character named Resilience. She's Virgin Islands Resilience. She's really like a ghost. She's not a person. She walks through history, and then you see how she learns a lot of things, as you saw tonight. She's naive, and then she learns all these different, the mother-daughter situation. She doesn't really understand the dynamic of power, and she learns it until, and in the end, she sees that we are here and we own everything because we have been resilient.
I know it was going to be good, but I don't think any of us could really anticipate that it would be this good. The reaction to be this big, the standing ovation was instantaneous. In terms of in the show, I didn't realize everything was so funny to the BVA public. There was lots of laughter, and I did not expect that. But the reactions thus far have been very heartwarming and overwhelming, especially because there's some moments of uncertainty in the background. You're not sure how it's going to turn out, but everyone it just feels so good.
What about you, Mr. Otley, aka Adam?
Well, as the play unfold, you could have listened to the audience and realized that they are following the plot and following the storyline. And at the end of it all, when we got that standing ovation, it was very heartwarming, surprising as well.
and I should also say a bit nostalgic. Okay, so it was a beautiful play. It was a beautiful play, and we went out there and put our best foot forward, and the audience did receive it as such.
Last but not least was the woman responsible for several roles on the night, Miss Via Donovan Hodge.
I don't even think I processed the standing ovation, to be honest, but I was sitting back here for most of the show, and like hearing the crowd and watching them react to everything that's happened on stage was amazing. Because as I said before, like I had watched it so many times, I was just like, is this actually gonna hit? And they were laughing at stuff that I didn't realize was funny, and I'm just like, this is amazing. This is great. Seats were packed. I printed a certain amount of tickets, and we kept having to go and reprint tickets, and I was just like, oh wait, the college is going to be full. So yeah, this was amazing for like my first full directed project by me, because like everything else I've directed has been like assistant director. So like this is my first independent, directing thing. Wow, amazing. I'm over the moon.
I'm sure that over the moon was exactly how everyone who witnessed the play on either night felt, as the entire team for the Resilience play came out and conquered. I'm Kamal Haynes reporting for 284 News.
Thank you, Kamal. What an amazing presentation that was presented by the cast and crew, directors, backstage personnel of Resilience, Our Legacy Unchained. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the team here at 284 Media to extend a hearty congratulations to each and every member of Resilience who exhibited the utmost of sportsmanship and, of course, presented our culture and heritage, most importantly, our story, in a very rich and exciting way. You guys must be commended. Viewers, up next, 6 individuals appointed to serve on the newly established Trade Commission Board. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this breaking CCT Live update.
Hello listeners, thank you for joining. I'm Ron Grant reporting for 284 News out of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands with this very special breaking news report. Since the start of 2022, customers have been taking advantage of the 1-month free trial for CCT Live TV and signing up for Fire Fiber Internet. Residents Kyra Powell, Massa Hickinbottom, Carly Cartel, and others have taken to social media to heap praise on CCT for the fiber internet and CCT Live TV. However, we have just been told that the 1-month free trial for CCT Live TV will finish at the end of March. Customers are asked and being advised to go to CCT today and take advantage of this deal before it goes away. Reporting for 284 News out of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands, I'm Ron Grant.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Live stream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
Viewers, welcome back. Continuing on, the government of the Virgin Islands has appointed 6 individuals to serve on the newly established Trade Commission Board, which will seek to enforce the Consumer Protection Act, of course, in the territory to protect consumers from price control. Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Andrew Foy, made the announcement during a recent press conference where he disclosed that Michael Fay will be the new chairman and Sasha Hodge, the deputy chairwoman.
The names of the appointees as approved by Cabinet after the independent process are Melissa Ferrara, Hakeem Creaky, Wendell Gaskin, Lavina Liebod, the Trade Commissioner as ex officio, Deputy Chairperson Sasha Hodge, and Michael Fay, Chairman. We congratulate those who have been successful in being selected. We also thank the other persons who applied but were not successful. And we encourage them to apply for other positions when applications are invited in areas where they are qualified.
Premier Foy also put to rest any false narratives that would suggest that the members were selected as a result of political bias. He said the process was independent of any elected official, adding that everyone who was appointed on the board went through a fair and transparent procedure.
The selection of the persons to serve on the Trade Commission was done through an independent process. There was no involvement in the selection process by any elected official. There was no handpicking by any elected official. Persons would recall that advertisements were published inviting persons interested in serving to apply. The shortlisting was done by a committee in accordance with the criteria stipulated in the Act, and no elected official was involved in this process. Additionally, the governor had his input at the appropriate stage in cabinet, for which we thank him. So these appointments are being made with full transparency, adherence to good governance, and adherence to the Act.
The government has provided an update on the Cane Garden Bay Water Waste Treatment Plant. This is a project which began in October of 2021 to address sewage issues. The update on the project came in the form of a government video report and featured Minister of Transportation Works and Utilities, the Honorable Kai Reimer, who's also the 5th District Representative, as well as a project manager, Bernard Grant. Take a look.
We are on our official visit with personnel from the ministry. We have Mr. Grant, who is the lead engineer. We have the PS, Mr. Berkeley. And we have the contractor and all the other workers. We have water and sewage men on site as well. So today we'll be doing a brief introduction as to what we are seeing here in the background. And this is a proud moment for the community and for this government in terms of making this a priority. So we would hear from Mr. Grant what all we have on ground, what all needs to be completed, and what the impacts of this sewage treatment plant will be for the community.
Well, thank you, Minister. I want to again officially welcome yourself, Minister, and the PS responsible for the subject of what we are about to speak of. It's a delight to introduce to the public the advanced stage of the construction of our state-of-the-art wastewater treatment plant located in Cane Garden Bay. To my immediate right, we have the blower unit. This is contrary to the previous blower that was here. It will add more than sufficient oxygen to require for the performance of this treatment plant. The sewage, when entered into the treatment plant, goes to a unit we call a preliminary treatment in terms of at this point, when the sewage enters the plant, what we desire is to separate the biodegradable from the non-biodegradable product. The non-biodegradable product is separated and goes into a bin, while the biodegradable product goes on to our main unit, which is housed the primary, secondary clarifier and the settling tank. This is the biggest of the unit will be located on the compound.
Minister Reimer also explained that this is just merely one phase of the overall project.
You know, we are indeed happy with the work we've seen thus far. And this is just one phase of the project. We also have to go into the community and do the lateral stages, the lateral connections and so forth. So that is another aspect of the works that we intend to do. But right now we are at the sewage treatment plant and, you know, quite impressed with what we've seen thus far.
Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at tweet4media.com. And of course, like us on Facebook at tweet4media and tweet4bbi on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. I'll see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. We are 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. A happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye-bye.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. Network. CCT Fire, bring it home and upgrade today.